One weekend, I was house-sitting for my grandma while she vacationed in Florida with her church friends. I stayed in the guest bedroom next to hers, a room that had two twin beds where my brother and I used to sleep during childhood visits. I chose the bed near the window. Before getting comfortable, I made sure all the doors were locked. It was early, and I wasn't tired yet, so I spent about an hour on my phone, watching videos and texting friends. That's when I started to hear something. A faint voice outside. It sounded like a woman saying, "Hello." Curious and a little uneasy, I got out of bed and slowly approached the front of the house, trying to pinpoint where the voice was coming from. It repeated every 10 seconds or so, that same soft hello. It became clear it was coming from the front door. There's no peephole, but the dining room windows overlook the porch. I carefully moved toward the blinds, trying to peek through them without being seen. But I must have made it obvious, because when I looked, she was staring right at me. An older woman, maybe late 50s or early 60s, stood on the porch with a strange smile on her face. Her eyes locked with mine as she whispered again, "Hello." She wasn't some sweet old lady either. There was something deeply off about her face, an unsettling intensity. I backed away and tried to rationalize. Maybe she was one of my grandma's friends. But it was midnight. Why wasn't she knocking or ringing the bell? Why was she just standing there, whispering? Disturbed, I returned to the bedroom and shut the door. With the door closed, I couldn't hear her anymore. Maybe she'd left. I texted my sisters and friends about it, trying to shake the discomfort. Then, bang! A loud, aggressive hit against the window. Not a knock, a bang. My heart nearly stopped. Then I heard it again. "Hello." That same voice. Fueled by fear and adrenaline, I ran to the blinds and yanked them up. She was there, right outside the glass, her twisted smile still glued to her face. I screamed at her, "I'm calling the cops," then slammed the blinds shut and bolted upstairs to lock myself in the guest room. I didn't call the police. I don't know why. Maybe I was scared it wouldn't matter. I just wanted to wait it out. A couple of sleepless hours later, I finally crept downstairs to check the windows. She was gone. The next morning, I told my grandma what happened. Her reaction chilled me. She yelled into the phone, panicked, said she'd seen a woman watching her in the grocery store a few days earlier, just staring, smiling. The same age range, the same vibe. It shook her badly. Was it the same woman? I couldn't be sure. But the way my grandma reacted, something about it stayed with me. A few months later, my name is Nicholas. I'm a freshman at Syracuse University, which isn't exactly known for being the safest area. I'd just gone through a breakup and decided to jump back into the online dating scene using Hinge. That's when I matched with Stephanie, a blonde girl who also went to Syracuse. We clicked instantly. Same taste in books, movies, even humor. We planned to meet for a movie date. She said she'd pick me up and asked me to wait on a street corner near campus. Around 9 p.m., I stood on the sidewalk and sent her my location, as she requested. A few minutes later, a car pulled up. But it wasn't Stephanie behind the wheel. It was an older man. He rolled down the window and said, "You waiting for someone?" I said I was waiting for Stephanie. He nodded. "I'm her father. I'll take you to her." Red flag. He looked way too old to be her dad. I asked why she didn't tell me he'd be picking me up. He said, "I don't trust random guys meeting my daughter without me meeting them first." I didn't respond. I just turned and started walking away. He started yelling after me, surprised, "Hey, hey!" But I kept moving. Then I noticed something. A few blocks later, the same car, I was sure of it, was parked silently on the side of the road, lights off, tinted windows. Then I got a text. "Why didn't you get in the car with my dad?" I ignored it, just kept walking. I turned the corner and sprinted the rest of the way to campus. I thought I was in the clear until I heard footsteps. Then, the sound of broken glass crunching underfoot. I ducked behind a van, heart racing, trying to listen. The footsteps were getting closer. And then, I saw him, the old man, emerging between two parked cars. He shouted something. I couldn't make out the words, but it sounded like, "Come back, I'll take you to her." I bolted again. I made it to my dorm and locked the door behind me. My roommate wasn't home. I sat on my bed, heart pounding. Then I got a final text. "You little piece of... You're lucky you got away. I would have strangled your ugly ass." I still have the screenshot. I replied. Thanks for the threat. This is going straight to the police. Then I blocked the number. And one more story. When I was 18, I worked a summer job as a janitor at my old high school. Sometimes I'd be left to lock up alone late at night. The place didn't have full security cameras installed back then, and I liked the freedom. I'd often do half the work, then just hang around or leave early. One night, I was alone. My supervisor, Tom, had to leave early. He told me to finish up and text him if I needed anything. One of his last instructions was to return a stack of chairs from the gym to the basement storage. The basement was creepy. The lighting sucked. The whole area felt more like a warehouse. There were a bunch of art mannequins down there, covered in cloths. I carried down a stack of chairs and noticed all the mannequins were covered. When I came back with a second load, one of them wasn't. A cloth had been removed. I texted Tom, I think someone's down here. He replied, what do you mean? One of the cloths was moved. A pause. Then no one else should be there. That's when I saw it. A lump under one of the cloths in the far corner, just outside the glow of the light. It was moving. Someone was hiding under it. I ran, locked the basement door behind me, and texted Tom again. Someone is under a cloth in the basement. He told me to call the cops. I begged him to come back. He had just left. He refused, told me to be a man and handle it. I hesitated, then went back down. The cloth was now lying flat. Whoever had been hiding was gone. But then, bang, metallic banging above me. I looked up and saw dents forming in the air vents overhead. Someone was in the vents, crawling, stopping directly above me. Then, harder banging, like they were trying to break through. I didn't wait around to find out. I ran, locked the school up, and went home. The next day I told Tom a vague version of the story, just that I thought I saw something, and it disappeared. It was my last week working there anyway, so I left it behind. But that image of the denting metal above me, it still lingers.